Welcome to our channel, where we journey across the globe to uncover the most breathtaking sunset. In this episode, where to watch the most magical sunsets, a traveler's guide, we invite you to explore unique and lesser-known destinations that offer unforgettable sunset experiences. From serene beaches to majestic mountains, each location promises a sunset that will captivate your senses and enrich your travel memory. One Arpoador, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the sunset that unites a city. About the destination. Arpoador is a striking rocky outcrop located between Ipanema and Copacabana beaches in the heart of Rio de Janeiro. It's known locally not only for its views, but also for the spontaneous applause that erupts every evening as the sun vanishes into the Atlantic, something rare on Brazil's generally east-facing coast. Why it's magical. Few places in the world combine natural beauty, urban energy, and cultural ritual like Arpoador. The sun here doesn't just set, it becomes a show. Locals, karaokas gather barefoot on the rocks with beers in hand. Musicians might begin strumming, and as the last sliver of sunlight disappears, the crowd erupts in cheer. It's as if the entire city comes together for one shared moment of awe. The backdrop of the Dois Irmãos Mountains, paired with surfers carving through glowing waves, adds cinematic flair. During midsummer, December, February, the alignment of the sun allows it to set directly over the sea, something that happens only during this time of year. Tips for the best experience. Time your visit. Arrive at least 60 to 90 minutes before sunset to find a spot on the rock. Space fills up quickly. Go during midsummer for the most dramatic alignment of sun and sea. Bring a towel or mat to sit comfortably on the uneven rock. Avoid weekends if you prefer quieter scenes. Weekdays are less crowded. Try a local drink like matcha gelato, cold tea, from a beach vendor while you wait. 2. Sarankot, Nepal, a Himalayan canvas at dusk. About the destination. Sarankot is a hilltop village located just a short drive from Pokhara, Nepal's adventure capital. It is best known as the launch site for paragliders, but come evening, it becomes a revered place to witness sunsets over the Annapurna Range. Why it's magical. The Himalayas hold a kind of stillness that resonates deep in the soul. As the sun dips behind the jagged peaks of Machapachari and Annapurna South, the sky shifts from yellow to crimson, and eventually to a soft purple. The snow-covered peaks catch and reflect the light in a slow, glowing fade. What makes Sarankot unique is not only the stunning panorama, but the elevation and atmosphere. Perched at 1,600 meters, the viewpoint places you above the clouds on some days, giving the illusion that you're floating in a sea of golden mist. Tips for the best experience. Visit in autumn, October, November, or spring, March, April for the clearest skies and warm tone. Wake up early and visit at sunrise too. It's equally breathtaking and quieter. Hire a local Jeep or driver from Pokhara if you don't want to hike up the hill. Bring layers. It can get cold in the late afternoon, especially after sunset. Use a telephoto lens for photographers wanting close-ups of the mountain ridges catching the light. 3. Santorini, Greece, the Cycladic classic reimagined. About the destination. Oia is perhaps the most famous sunset spot in Greece, and for good reason. Located at the northern tip of Santorini, Oia is a small town built into volcanic cliffs with whitewashed buildings and iconic blue dome churches cascading toward the Aegean Sea. Why it's magical. While it may seem cliché, the sunset in Oia really is as dreamlike as advertised. The unique geography of Santorini, being part of a caldera, creates a bowl-like amphitheater that captures and reflects sunlight in mesmerizing ways. The orange-pink hue of sunset filters through the white walls of buildings, giving the town a glowing warmth that feels surreal. But beyond the view, what makes it magical is the ritual. Crowds gather in respectful silence. Photographers line balconies, the air cool, and for a few golden moments, the entire town seems to pause. Tips for the best experience. Avoid peak season, July, August, if possible. Crowds can be intense. Consider visiting in late September or early May. Book a rooftop restaurant or hotel terrace in advance for a reserved seat with a view. Scout locations during the day if you want the perfect photography angle. Spots fill up fast. Wear comfortable shoes. Navigating Oia's stairs and cobblestones is no small feat. Bring a small tripod if you plan to take time-lapse or longer exposure shots. 4. Valle de la Luna, Atacama Desert, Chile, Mars. About the destination. Located in northern Chile, the Atacama Desert is one of the driest places on Earth. Within it lies Valle de la Luna, Valley of the Moon, a surreal landscape shaped by centuries of wind and salt erosion. With its alien textures, cracked clay, and salt flat, this valley truly feels like a different planet. Why it's magical. Sunsets in Valle de la Luna don't just involve the sky. They paint the entire landscape. As the sun descends, it ignites the valley's jagged ridges in flaming tones of orange, copper, and violet. The vast emptiness combined with complete silence makes it a hauntingly beautiful experience. The air is dry and still. The colors are raw and unfiltered. It's no wonder NASA tested Mars rovers here. Tips for the best experience. Book a sunset tour with a licensed guide. They often include stops at secret viewpoints unreachable by car. Bring sunglasses and lip balm. The dryness and reflective salt can be intense. Visit during Chile's summer months, December to March, for longer daylight. Pack warm layers. Temperatures drop sharply after dark, even if it's hot during the day. Stay after sunset to stargaze. Atacama is world famous for its pristine night skies. 5. Cliffs of Moher, Ireland. Wild Atlantic meets a golden about the destination. Stretching over 14 kilometers and rising up to 214 meters above the Atlantic Ocean, the Cliffs of Moher are Ireland's most iconic natural wonder. Located on the western edge of County Clare, the cliffs are part of the Wild Atlantic Way, an untamed coastline rich in history and soul. Why it's magical. Watching the sunset here is a lesson in drama and power. As the sun approaches the ocean, it casts long golden shadows along the cliff edges, while the sea below churns with ancient energy. If you're lucky, you might see puffins or seabirds silhouetted in flight. The light catches the rugged stone, the crashing waves roar far below, and wind whips through your hair. It's a place that makes you feel alive and deeply grounded. Tips for the best experience. Arrive early to walk the paths and choose a quiet viewpoint. Sunset spots along the southern end tend to be less crowded. Avoid foggy days. Check local forecasts as visibility can drop to 0 in minutes. Use a windbreaker jacket. Even in summer, the Atlantic breeze is strong and cold. Bring binoculars for bird watching while you wait. Finish with dinner in nearby Doolin, a charming village with traditional Irish music and warm pub fare. 6. Mount Bromo, East Java, Indonesia. Volcanoes aglow at dusk. About the destination. Mount Bromo is one of Indonesia's most iconic active volcanoes, rising from the Sea of Sand in Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park. Though it's known for sunrise, the sunset over this volcanic expanse is equally spellbinding and far less crowded. Why it's magical. From the viewpoint on Mount Penanjakan, or the edges of the Sea of Sand, you'll see the cone of Mount Bromo slowly swallowed by twilight, with Mount Semeru smoking gently in the distance. The entire sky becomes a gradient of pink, gold, and ash gray. The landscape's texture, cratered, surreal, and shrouded in mist, creates a dreamlike composition for sunset watchers. Add the distant sound of prayer calls from mountain villages, and the experience becomes otherworldly. Tips for the best experience. Visit in the dry season, May to October, for clearer sky. Consider staying overnight at one of the lodges near Samoro Lawang for easy access. Hire a local Jeep for sunset. It's more flexible and lets you stop at different viewpoints. Bring a scarf or mask. Volcanic dust can get stirred up by wind. Don't miss the post-sunset blue hour when the crater's glow intensifies in the darkening sky. 7. Lake Tekapo, New Zealand, where sunsets meet the stars. About the destination. Lake Tekapo sits in the heart of New Zealand's South Island and is part of the UNESCO-designated Aoraki Mackenzie Dark Sky Reserve. Known for its milky turquoise waters and blooming lupin fields, Tekapo is also a front-row seat to both sunsets and celestial displays. Why it's magical. As the sun sets behind the southern Alps, the lake reflects the fading light in soft pastels. The Church of the Good Shepherd, a tiny stone chapel on the shore, adds an iconic silhouette to the scene. Then, as dusk deepens, the sky fills with constellations, including the Southern Cross and the Milky Way. There are few places where you can witness a spectacular sunset and a world-class night sky show, all in one sitting. Tips for the best experience. Visit in late spring, November, to see the blooming lupins at golden hour. Bring a tripod for sunset to night photography. It's a paradise for astrophotographers. Layer up. Even in summer, the alpine temperatures can be biting after dark. Join a guided stargazing tour at the nearby Mount John Observatory for expert insight. Avoid full moon nights if you're prioritizing stargazing. 8. La Digue, Seychelles. Granite giants at golden hour. About the destination. La Digue is one of the most photogenic islands in the Seychelles. With pink granite boulders, clear turquoise waters, and laid-back vibes, the beaches here are legendary, particularly Anse Source d'Argent, often cited as the most beautiful beach in the world. Why it's magical. At sunset, Anse Source d'Argent becomes surreal. The giant boulders, sculpted by centuries of waves and wind, glow pink-orange. The sea turns glassy. Palm trees sway gently overhead. There are no cars, no crowds, just you and the element. The peacefulness here isn't just visual, it's emotional. You feel suspended between time and tide. Tips for the best experience. Rent a bicycle. Maldives has almost no cars, and biking is the best way to get around. Bring mosquito repellent. Dust can attract bugs in lush tropical areas. Enter the beach through Union Estate and pay the entry fee early to avoid last-minute lines. Stay for twilight. Most tourists leave before the color fades into the sea, but that's when the real magic begins. 9. Erg Chebi, Morocco. Dunes of gold beneath the desert sky. About the destination. Located near Merzouga in southeastern Morocco, Erg Chebi is a sea of towering sand dunes that rise up to 150 meters above the Sahara floor. This region is often the highlight of a Moroccan desert experience, with its golden landscape stretching to the horizon. Why it's magical. At sunset, the Sahara transforms. The dunes catch the last light in soft ripples and bold shadows, changing color from burnt orange to deep burgundy, and finally to dusk blue. The silence is total, broken only by the distant breath of camels and the crunch of sand underfoot. Watching the sun go down here is more than visual. It's elemental. You feel exposed and yet completely present. In that stillness, something ancient awakens inside. Tips for the best experience. Book a desert camp overnight to stay until the stars appear. Sunset here blends seamlessly into the night sky. Climb the highest dune with help from a local guide at least 30 minutes before sunset to choose your spot. Wear light, breathable clothing and bring a scarf or keffiyeh for wind protection. Visit from October to April when temperatures are more manageable. Capture shadows and silhouette. Sunset here is perfect for dramatic dune photography. 10. Miyajima Island, Japan. The floating torii at twilight. About the destination. Miyajima, officially named Itsukushima, is a small island off the coast of Hiroshima. It is famous for its floating torii gate of the Itsukushima Shrine, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Japan's most iconic images. Why it's magical. As the sun sets over the Seto Inland Sea, the vermilion torii gate appears to float gently on the tide. The surrounding water mirrors the sky's soft oranges and purples, turning the sacred site into a painter's canvas. The forested hills in the background deepen in color, adding depth and peace to the view. It's a deeply spiritual place, and at sunset, that spirituality becomes almost tangible. Tips for the best experience. Check tide chart. The gate's reflection is best during high tide. Stay until after dark to see the torii beautifully illuminated. Take the ferry from Hiroshima before 4 p.m. to allow enough time to explore and settle before sunset. Avoid weekends and holidays for a quieter experience. Walk up Mount Misen earlier in the day for sweeping views, and then return to the shrine area for sunset. 11. Lake Brienz, Switzerland. Alpine reflections at dusk. About the destination. Lake Brienz is a glacial lake located near the town of Interlaken in the Bernese Oberland region. It is known for its intense turquoise color, crystal clarity, and the mountainous embrace that surrounds it. Why it's magical. What makes sunset at Lake Brienz so special is its perfect stillness. As the sun lowers behind the peaks, the lake becomes a mirror, not just reflecting color, but doubling the beauty. You'll see boats drift silently across the water, and the last golden light catch on alpine villages tucked into the slope. The calm is absolute. The moment feels private, even when shared. Tips for the best experience. Rent a paddle boat or kayak to view sunset from the water. Visit during late spring or early fall for warmer light and fewer tourists. Bring a picnic to enjoy along the lakeside promenade in Eiseltwald or Brienz Village. Use a neutral density filter for long exposure photography across the still lake. Combine your visit with the Brienz Rothorn steam train for a sunset view from above. 12. Moraki Boulders, New Zealand. Spheres of mystery and golden light. About the destination. Located on Kokoi Beach on New Zealand's Otago coast, the Moraki boulders are unusually large, spherical stones that lie scattered along the beach like ancient relics. Scientists say they formed over millions of years. Maori legends say they are remnants of a canoe wrecked by spirit. Why it's magical. During sunset, the beach turns into a surreal scene. The sun dips behind the ocean, illuminating the smooth, round boulders with golden and pink hue. The water seeps between them, reflecting soft pastels, and the sky becomes a gradient of emotion. It's as if time slows to honor the story of the stone. Photographers love this place, but even with no camera, it's unforgettable. Tips for the best experience. Check the tide schedule. Low tide is best for walking around the boulders. Use wide-angle lenses if photographing the full landscape. Arrive about an hour early to walk the full stretch of the beach and scout the best cluster. Dress in layers. Wind from the ocean can turn chilly quickly. Stay afterward for twilight colors and reflections that only appear once the sun is fully down. 13. Inla Lake, Myanmar. sunset on stilts and silhouette. About the destination. Inla Lake is located in the Shan state of Myanmar, surrounded by floating gardens, stilt villages, and fishermen who row their boats with a single leg. It's a world that feels untouched by time. Why it's magical. As the sun begins to set, the lake turns into a silhouette dream. Fishermen perform their iconic balancing act against a glowing backdrop of pink and amber. Birds glide low over the water, and the gentle hum of a long-tailed boat might pass by. It is deeply quiet, even as colors explode across the sky. The calm, the culture, and the slow rhythm of life here combine to create one of the most soulful sunsets in Southeast Asia. Tips for the best experience. Hire a private boat to navigate the lake at golden hour. This gives you freedom to choose angles and locations. Visit between October and February for clear weather and cooler temperatures. Support local guides. They know the best secret corners for sunset view. Use manual camera settings to capture both the glowing sky and dark silhouette. Stay in a lakeside stilt resort for a sunrise-sunset combo experience. 14. Petra, Jordan, the Rose City at dusk. About the destination. Petra is one of the new 7 wonders of the world, an ancient Nabatean city carved into rose-red rock in the Jordanian desert. While most travelers rush to see it at sunrise, sunset unveils a completely different side of this UNESCO site, one cloaked in mystery and firelight. Why it's magical. As the sun begins its descent, the red sandstone of Petra glows in hues of burnt orange and dusty pink. The famed treasury, or Al-Khazneh, takes on a warm tone that deepens with every minute, while the surrounding canyons are cast in dramatic shadow. But the true magic lies in the stillness. The tourists thin out, and all you can hear are the wind through rock and the soft crunch of your footsteps. It's a sacred ending to a day steeped in history. Tips for the best experience. Hike to the high place of sacrifice, or Al-Kupta Trail, for a stunning panoramic sunset view over the valley. Visit in the cooler months, March, May, or October, November, for bearable desert temperatures. Stay until dark to attend the Petra by Night experience, where candles illuminate the treasury. Pack a flashlight. Paths back through the Sick Canyon can be dark and uneven. Wear good hiking shoes. Some of the best views require steep climbs and loose stone. 15. White Desert, Egypt. Chalk giants under molten skies. The White Desert, or Sahara El Beida, is located in Egypt's Farafra Depression. It's known for its surreal chalk rock formations that resemble mushrooms, camels, and other fantastical shapes, sculpted by millennia of wind. Why it's magical. Sunsets here are unlike anywhere else. As the sky ignites with deep orange and purple, the white rock towers reflect subtle shifts in light and shadow. The ground seems to glow, as if the desert is catching fire in slow motion. In the silence of this remote land, the scene is both haunting and transcendent. The formations look like the remnants of a forgotten world, and the sunset casts them as silent sentinels in a living art gallery. Tips for the best experience. Go with an experienced Bedouin guide. Navigation is nearly impossible on your own. Camp overnight to witness the full cycle of sunset, moonrise, and stars. Wear layers. It's blistering hot by day and freezing by night. Use a drone for breathtaking aerial shots. Check drone regulations first. Avoid full moon nights if you're aiming to see dramatic stars and desert silhouette. 16. Cape Maclear, Lake Malawi, Africa's liquid fire. About the destination. Cape Maclear is a laid-back fishing village on the southern shores of Lake Malawi, one of Africa's Great Lakes and the third largest freshwater lake on the continent. It's often dubbed the calendar of sunsets, and locals will tell you every evening is a new masterpiece. Why it's magical. Lake Malawi is so vast, it feels like an ocean. As the sun begins to fall, fishermen paddle dugout canoes across shimmering water. The silhouettes are iconic. The pace is slow, and the colors, blazing orange and deep violet, are intense and clear. With birds soaring low and village children laughing on the shore, the sunset becomes a communal experience that feels both peaceful and cinematic. Tips for the best experience. Book a lakeside lodge with open-air seating. Many have hammocks for perfect sunset lounging. Bring a polarizing lens for your camera to enhance lake reflection. Visit between May and September when skies are clearest and humidity is low. Don't skip snorkeling. Lake Malawi is home to over 700 species of colorful cichlid fish. Order fresh chambo fish and a cold Carlsberg beer as you settle in to watch the show. 17. Fjallajökull Canyon, Iceland. Norse magic and golden light. About the destination. Tucked in southeastern Iceland near the village of Kirkjubæjarklaustur, Fjallajökull is a massive and meandering canyon carved by glacier meltwater over thousands of years. It's 2 kilometers long and over 100 meters deep, with a winding river that reflects the sky. Why it's magical. As the sun sets during Iceland's endless summer evenings, Golden light filters into the canyon, turning the moss-covered walls into glowing emerald curtain. The river below sparkles with each change in light, and the quiet is broken only by birdsong and distant waterfalls. This is the kind of place where Norse gods would watch the end of the world, and you get to witness it at golden hour. Tips for the best experience. Visit in June or early July when the sun barely sets and golden hour lasts for hours. Climb the marked trail along the canyon rim. There are multiple platforms for viewing. Respect trail boundary. The moss is delicate and easily damaged. Combine this stop with a visit to nearby Vatnajökull Glacier or the Dyrhólaey Arch. Wear waterproof shoes. There are often small streams and soggy areas near the canyon base. 18. Rovinj, Croatia. Adriatic dreams from a Venetian harbor. About the destination, Rovinj is a charming coastal town on the Istrian Peninsula, once ruled by Venice and still steeped in Italian influence. Its cobblestone streets wind through pastel buildings, leading to a hilltop church that overlooks the sparkling Adriatic Sea. Why it's magical. As the sun sets behind the sea, the town's medieval walls, terracotta rooftops, and bell towers are bathed in golden light. Boats drift lazily through the harbor, and the air smells of salt and grilled seafood. It's peaceful, romantic, and quietly electric. The sun disappears behind offshore islands, creating perfect silhouettes and water reflections that seem almost painterly. Tips for the best experience. Climb the bell tower of St. Euphemia's Church for the highest and most panoramic views. Walk the waterfront promenade. It offers incredible side views with fewer crowds. Time your visit in late September when the weather is still warm, but tourist numbers drop. Bring a sketchbook or journal. Rovinj is the kind of place that inspires slow art. Reserve dinner at a rooftop seafood restaurant like Monte or Puntalina for a golden view with fine wine. 19. The Mongolian Steppe. Endless sky, eternal light. About the destination. The Mongolian Steppe is a vast grassy plateau that stretches farther than the eye can see, broken only by distant mountains and the occasional yurt. With its low population density and unobstructed horizons, Mongolia is one of the few places on Earth where you can truly watch the sky unfold in 360 degrees. Why it's magical. Sunset here is not an event. It's an atmosphere. As the sun slowly descends, the light begins to melt across the plains, painting herds of wild horses, golden grass, and nomadic camps in a soft, fiery glow. There are no buildings, no wires, no pollution, only nature and the sky. The absence of distractions allows you to become fully present. Time slow, you breathe deeper. It's one of the most meditative sunset experiences on the planet. Tips for the best experience. Book a stay with a nomadic family to witness the traditional lifestyle as part of your sunset journey. Bring a telescope or binoculars. Sunset fades into stargazing here faster than you expect. Travel in summer, June, August, for clear skies and warmer nights. Avoid cities like Ulaanbaatar. The most magical moments are deep in the steppe. Stay overnight in a jur camp. Sunset followed by campfire stories under the Milky Way is unforgettable. 20. Lake Baikal, Russia. Ice, fire, and light. About the destination. Lake Baikal in Siberia is the world's deepest and oldest freshwater lake. In winter, it freezes into a vast mirror of translucent ice. In summer, it becomes a sanctuary of green forests, pebbled shores, and cool breezes. Olkhon Island, located near the center of the lake, is considered a sacred site by the Buryat people and offers some of the most dramatic vistas. Why it's magical. In winter, sunset over the frozen lake creates an alien, almost science fiction setting. Ice cracks glow beneath your feet, and the horizon turns from blue to pink to orange. In summer, the soft light stretches long across the horizon, illuminating cliffs, gulls, and waves with silver fire. Whether standing barefoot on a summer beach or wrapped in furs on the ice, sunset at Baikal is elemental and spiritual. Tips for the best experience. Visit in February to experience Baikal ice and its surreal transparent surface. For summer sunsets, come in July or August when forest hikes and camping are ideal. Hire a local guide. Weather, terrain, and wildlife can be unpredictable. Try the omu fish, cooked over open flame as you wait for the light to shift. Watch from Shaman Rock on Olkhon Island. Local legends say it channels Earth's energy. 21. Table Mountain, Cape Town, South Africa, the world beneath you. About the destination. Towering above the vibrant city of Cape Town, Table Mountain offers an unparalleled vantage point over land and sea. Accessible via cable car or hiking trails, it is one of the most visited and photographed locations in all of Africa. Why it's magical. From the summit, the entire Cape Peninsula unfolds before you. As sunset approaches, the Atlantic glistens. Robben Island sits quietly offshore, and the city below flickers to light. The golden light casts long shadows over Lion's Head and Signal Hill, while clouds cascade over the mountaintop like waves. Locals call this phenomenon the table clock. Watching the sun vanish into the horizon from above the clouds is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Tips for the best experience. Check the wind condition. The cable car closes if winds are too strong. Bring a warm jacket. Even in summer, the temperature drops quickly at the summit. Book your cable car ticket online to skip the line, especially during tourist season. Hike up via Platclip Gorge if you want a challenge, and take the cable car down. Stay after sunset for twilight views and a lit-up Cape Town sparkling beneath you. 22. Mount Fusi, Luang Prabang, Laos, golden light on a golden city. About the destination. Luang Prabang is a UNESCO World Heritage town nestled between the Mekong and Nam Khan rivers in northern Laos. It's a place of old temples, saffron-robed monks, and French colonial charm. Timeless, slow, and soulful. Mount Fusi is the city's spiritual and geographical heart, a 100-meter hill that offers panoramic views in every direction. Why it's magical. Climb the 328 stone steps of Mount Si in the late afternoon, and you'll be rewarded with a 360-degree view of Luang Prabang glowing in the final light of day. The gold-spired temples shimmer, the rivers reflect peach-colored clouds, and incense from evening prayers rises into the air. It is quiet, sacred, and deeply serene. Sunset here feels like a prayer answered. Tips for the best experience. Arrive an hour early to get a good seat. Sunset is popular with travelers. Respect local custom. Avoid loud conversations or smoking. Bring a sarong or shawl. You may wish to visit nearby temples afterward. Use low-light photography settings to capture the atmosphere gently. Stay until the bells of evening chant. It's one of the most beautiful sounds in the region. 23. Porto Katsiki, Lefkada, Greek, Cliffs of Light, an Ionian dream. About the destination. Located on the Greek island of Lefkada, Porto Katsiki is one of the most stunning beaches in the Ionian Sea. Towering white cliffs plunge into turquoise water, accessible only by a long staircase that winds down through fragrant pine. Why it's magical. At sunset, the white cliffs reflect the sun's amber light, while the sea becomes a luminous pool of gold and teal. The contrast of soft sand, steep rock, and fiery sky creates one of the most painterly scenes in the Mediterranean. Unlike more famous beaches in Greece, Porto Katsiki remains relatively quiet at dusk, giving the sense that you've stumbled into paradise alone. Tips for the best experience. Rent a scooter or car. The beach is remote and not served by public transport. Bring snacks and water. There are few amenities once you reach the beach. Visit in shoulder season, May or late September, to avoid crowds. Swim before sunset. The water temperature remains pleasant until dusk. Stay until full dark. The reflection of moonlight on the cliffs is a secret most visitors miss. 24. Acatenango Volcano, Guatemala fire meets sky. Towering over Antigua, Acatenango is a 3,976-meter stratovolcano that faces its much more active sibling, Volcán de Fuego. Adventurers from around the world hike to its summit for a once-in-a-lifetime chance to camp above the clouds and witness an erupting volcano with the sun setting in the background. Why it's magical. As the sun begins to set, the rolling mist parts to reveal Fuego in full, roaring majesty. At intervals, fiery lava bursts into the darkening sky while the clouds turn from golden to crimson. If the weather cooperates, you'll see volcano, clouds, stars, and sun all collide into one extraordinary panorama. It's primal, thrilling, and deeply humbling. Tips for the best experience. Train in advance. The hike is steep, long, and physically demanding. Go with a trusted guide company that provides quality camping gear and safety protocol. Bring layered. Temperatures drop below freezing at the summit. Use a long exposure camera to photograph lava bursts at sunset. Watch sunrise too. You'll witness the reverse gradient of light and smoke over the Pacific. 25. Hopewell Rocks, New Brunswick, Canada, where tides and twilight dance. About the destination. The Bay of Fundy in New Brunswick is home to the world's highest tide, and Hopewell Rocks are its crown jewel. These massive flower pot-shaped rock formations are carved by millennia of water flow and tower above the shoreline like sculptures from another realm. Why it's magical. At low tide, you can walk along the seafloor among the rocks. At sunset, the entire bay reflects a silken pink glow, enhanced by wet sand and slow returning waves. The surreal shapes cast long shadows across the shore as the sky becomes a watercolor dream. It's a place where earth and ocean choreograph a slow, sacred walk. Tips for the best experience. Check tide schedules carefully. Sunset low tide happens only on select days. Wear waterproof shoes or boots. The seafloor is muddy but walkable. Use a drone, if permitted, to capture the formations from above during golden hour. Plan for 2 visits, one at high tide and one at low tide to appreciate the contrast. Pack out what you bring in. The area is protected and pristine. 26. Sandwich Harbor, Namibia. Dunes collide with the sea. About the destination. Tucked between the Atlantic Ocean and the towering dunes of the Namib Desert, Sandwich Harbor is one of the most remote and visually stunning locations in southern Africa. Accessible only by 4x4 vehicle, it's a place where sand meets surf in otherworldly fashion. Why it's magical. As the day wanes, sunlight dances across ridges of wind-blown sand while waves crash below. The dunes shift from gold to amber to deep red, and you'll feel as if you're on another planet. Flamingos might cross your path. The silence is total. The space, limitless. This is the kind of place that doesn't just show you a sunset, it changes your understanding of space and light. Tips for the best experience. Book a guided 4x4 tour. Self-driving is dangerous and forbidden in many sections. Bring binoculars for birdwatching and distant desert wildlife. Wear sunglasses and a buff. Desert winds can kick up sand quickly. Visit in the Namibian winter, May-August, for cooler, clearer evening. Capture wide-angle photos. This is a landscape best viewed in grand scope. 27. Levi, Finnish Lapland. Arctic light in winter silence. About the destination. Located above the Arctic Circle, Levi is a ski resort town in Finnish Lapland that offers far more than just snow sport. In the winter, the sun barely rises and barely sets, creating magical moments of soft light known as the polar twilight. Why it's magical. Around 2 to 3 p.m. in midwinter, the sun hovers near the horizon in a deep golden hue that lingers longer than a typical sunset. The snow-covered forests, frozen lakes, and quiet reindeer paths all glow under this amber wash. It feels both like sunrise and sunset, and neither. The silence, broken only by the creak of ice or crunch of snow, adds a sacredness to the scene that's hard to describe. Tips for the best experience. Stay in a glass-roofed cabin or igloo lodge to watch the light from bed. Visit in December or January to experience true polar twilight. Dress for -20°C or colder. Invest in thermal base layers and Arctic-grade outerwear. Bring a thermos with hot berry juice, a local favorite. Pair your sunset experience with a Northern Lights hunt later in the evening. 28. Crissy Island, Greece. Sunsets, silence, and sea on a deserted isle. About the destination. Crissy is a tiny, uninhabited island south of Crete, known for its exotic cedar trees, golden sand beaches, and shallow turquoise water. It's only accessible by boat, and no overnight stays are permitted, making it one of the last untouched Mediterranean gems. Why it's magical. As the last boat departs and you stay for a private sunset cruise, the island becomes yours alone. The sun sinks into the Libyan Sea, casting golden reflections on fossil-covered beaches and white rock shelves. The scent of cedar hangs in the air. You're not just watching a sunset, you're discovering what peace really means. Tips for the best experience. Join a private afternoon boat tour that allows sunset return trip. Bring everything you need. There are no shops or facilities on the island. Avoid mid-July to August for a more tranquil experience. Stay silent for a few minutes as the sun sets. Let the stillness become part of the memory. Swim in the shallows before golden hour. The water becomes luminous near sunset. A final horizon. The places we've explored in this guide span the globe, from high mountains to deep lake, from desert winds to polar silence, and yet they all share something in common: the capacity to make us stop, breathe, and feel. Sunsets are universal, but no two are the same. They remind us that endings can be beautiful, that time is not to be rushed, that light always returns. So pack lightly, travel far, and keep chasing the horizon. The most magical sunset might still be ahead. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our travel channel, comment your favorite sunset experience, and tell us, where should we chase the light next?